in all honesty. I don't know how to start this video. It's not, oh, I don't have anything to say, or it's, I can't think of anything. It's not, I don't have papers near me. The only papers I do have is a story that I'm currently writing. Um, I just, I for real don't know what to talk about. I don't know what to do at this point. I feel like I'm going insane. I don't know. And it's not at the fact, oh, I'm, you know, I feel like my mental state of where it is, of where I'm supposed to be, is non-existent at this point. And it's because I feel like I'm losing sanity. I'm gone crazy. I don't know what to talk about. To be honest, this is going to be one of the realest videos I'm probably going to post on YouTube. So disclaimer, if whatever I say makes you feel uncomfortable, or you guys can relate to what I'm talking about, that would be great. I just feel like I'm not myself. It's like, I feel like I'm wearing a mask just to hide, to make sure everything's okay. But I know I'm not okay. I don't think I'll ever be okay because of the amount of things that I have to go through. I do know at one point if I do say a cuss word, I might have to bleep myself out. But disclaimer, language will be in here. Um, but like, it's 8:19 in the morning. It's the day of being an AT's fan, you know, when AT&E got their name. And so I feel so lost right now. One, I lost my mom when I was 20, because my birthday's it's in July. I lost my mom when I was 20, which was in April of 23rd of this year. My mom was the only thing I had at that point, because that's a parent. And for those who have lost their mothers or fathers, will understand that it sucks to lose a parent. Let alone if it's the only parent that you have. Because growing up, I don't know who my dad was. I still don't know who he is. So, me losing my mom, it took a toll on everybody, but it kind of really didn't take a toll on me, because to really think about it, I I just I know you guys can see my face, but y'all can probably hear it in my voice. I just I knew at some point I was gonna lose my mom when I was younger, because when I was young, I have this thing where I overthink, and there are times where I can just sense things, and that's like for me, I already knew I was gonna lose my mom, and not to cancer. That was not one of the things. It's like I know I'm gonna lose my mom, but it wasn't cancer. That took me by surprise. The worst part is when you see your parent just start deteriorating in front of you. Because my mom, when she had me, she like, her birthday's in June 26th, and she turned 32, and then had me like a couple days later in July. And by I think around like age 33 or something like that, she went to college. She was the PTK, you know, the Phi Theta Kappa. She went to do all this stuff. My mom did everything within her 30s when she could have done it in her 20s, but she didn't do it. And sometimes you make choices like that, which it makes sense, but it's like, really? Overall, my mom, she always wanted the best for me. So, you know, thinking to myself, and I'm thinking to myself, all she wants is for me to like thrive like she did. That was her. That's not me. I can't thrive like that. I can't. And of course, unfortunately, I have depression, which really sucks. I also have anxiety, which also really sucks. Have I been diagnosed for either of those two? No. How the reason why I know is because I can feel them. I know I have depression because there are days where I just don't feel like doing anything. You know, I don't have a license, I don't have a car, and I don't like bothering people to be like, hey, can we hang out, or like, hey, what are you doing today? Can we hang out? I don't. The only friends that I do have, or it's like I have a friend who I met online. I have another one who lives in another state. I have some other people who also live in another state. I live in one state, and oh yeah, I got friends around here, but they all got jobs, and I'm trying to find a job that's close to home to where I can stay in this place that I'm living in. And it's like I feel like I'm going insane. I feel like my mental health is not here. And I'm so afraid of like losing everything because I've I straight up worked hard to maintain a good mentality to stay alive, because those who have friends who have depression knows that it sucks, or you have depression yourself, you guys know that it sucks to to have it, because it messes with your mind and you think of things that you normally don't think, and you become in this dark place, and it's like, why am I thinking this? I mean, there were times where I have broken out of it, but I just go right back into it because it's like the darkness is the most comforting thing. And when my mom was still alive, living in the particular trailer that I'm living in now, which is my childhood home, a lot of people, it's like, oh yeah, you can you. It's like, oh yeah, I was an only child. Well, I was raised as an only child. I do have a half brother that I rarely talk to. That's bad on my part, but um but like it's just like I was an only child. I didn't get to have siblings around this time. I didn't know what it's like to have siblings. I didn't know what sibling rivalry was. I didn't know. But yet I can sit and talk to people and be like, yeah, oh yeah, that makes sense because I see it from their perspective. And it's like, why am I seeing this in this particular perspective? It's a perspective that I never had before. And the craziest thing for me is, how can I created this channel when I was in middle school, I'm guessing. I think it was in middle school. Give me 2 seconds, people, because I'm gonna go back and I'm currently on my phone right now because I'm gonna go back and like see when I created the channel because I don't remember, and that's on me. I joined on February 9th of 2017. It is now 2025. That's how many years? Hold up. 8 years, bruh. It's been 8 years of me having this particular channel. And the one of the reasons why I wanted to create this channel, because I just wanted to share things that I do, and I just wanted people to like it. But overall, I just like growing up, living the way I lived, the lifestyle was so not good. You Those who live like a One thing I can relate to is to rappers. It's not because, oh, they lived on the streets and they're in that stuff. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about those who know what it's like to live in a horrible lifestyle, and you're just trying to make the best of it. And I remembered I tried to make the best of it for me, and I just, because of like going to school and constantly just helping my mom, because my mom, instead of my mom taking care of me, I had to take care of her because of the amount of like health issues she had. And it was just like, it was so crazy. And And at that time, I couldn't talk about it. I couldn't talk about the way I lived and how I was living it. I couldn't. Back then, I couldn't. Now I can, and it's like I have 150 subscribers on YouTube, and it's just crazy to me because the only reason why I have so many was because of a particular video called Heathens with Creepypasta. And one of the major problems was it because it was a pan and zoom and it was just constantly, and I just remember making it. But I didn't know editing back then. I didn't know editing back then. I didn't know how to edit. I didn't know how to make it stop. And that one, it blew up so much. I'm gonna go back onto my phone real quick and I'm gonna talk about not talk about, I'm gonna tell you the actual numbers for it. In all honesty, despite me despite having like an intro and outro, I'm not gonna use those, not right now, because I just want people to like feel like the realness, the raw emotions. And I'm still looking for the video. I'm sorry, you guys. It this was 6 years ago. So this was on, oh, that's funny. On May 4th of 2019, I made it, and it has exactly 15,000, yeah, 15,957 views since it was published. It blew up. I don't know when it blew up. I don't remember, but it blew up, and I can't remember what year it was. Probably 2020, I think. I don't remember because my memory is like that. And I was just like, and it was just so crazy because I just kept on getting the views going up, up, and up. And I remember telling my mom was like, so, even though I told my mom, it didn't feel like my mom was just like excited the way I was. So it kind of made me feel a little bit down. Like I wasn't living her expectations. And, of course, I was talking to my mom about it, talking about expectations. Like, yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, you don't understand. You just don't get it. But like her lifestyle was different than mine. Of course, my mom was born in 1972. Excuse me, really? You gotta be born. So, and it was just like living this lifestyle, feeling like I'm not doing good enough in the world. It kind of it takes a toll on you. But like I don't post as much because of social media. It's not because oh they hate comments and all that stuff. It's just more like I don't want people thinking I'm doing this because, oh, I need clout or anything. And in all honesty, people don't believe me that my mother is gone. Because there are some people who just think I'm doing this for clout. I'm literally in her room with the furniture that she has. And the only thing that has changed pretty much is because of the floor, the walls, and everything. I live in a place where we had carpets as a floor. Carpets as a floor. You could imagine my shock immediately when I saw the amount of sand that was under the carpets. Being so dead serious. It was just so insane. I'm like, why was this a thing? Um, but like after my mom passed away, it affected a lot of the people, like people who knew my mom, like her friends, her dad, and family, and all that stuff. And a lot of people were just like, and a lot of the one thing that shocked most people was about me not crying. And it's like I lived with my mom for like 20 years. I've seen things that no one has ever seen. And it's like at that time I felt like I didn't have a voice. And because of it, it's like I don't feel like I have a voice. Like I can't speak out or anything. And for those who stayed long enough can understand that I have switched my channel name so many times until I found the right one, which happens to be DJ Siren X. And the reason for that is because I'm gonna break it down to my name, about what my name is and how I was able to come create it. There for a while, I always wanted to become a DJ. And one of the things that really got me the most was that my mom told me that I had a cousin who ended up passing away 6 days after I was born. And he was a DJ. He was a gay DJ. Gay DJ. Sorry. I have a tendency, I have a problem with saying certain words, and it's just more because I can have, like, some sort of accent that can come through, and I don't know why I have that. But, like, it was just, like, I thought that was really cool. So I want to become a DJ, and I was like, okay. And then, I don't know where Siren came. A lot of people, if you think of sirens, you think of, like, mythology, Greek mythology. That's what you think. And how, you know, they use your voices to lure men to their deaths. That's not how I see it. I see it as me using my voice as loud as I can. As loud like a siren would, like an actual, like, police siren that you hear, or any kind of sirens. And I want people to know. I'm trying so hard not to cry right now, because this is my first time speaking about my name. And I want people to know that they are not alone. For those who feel like they have nowhere else to go. My channel, the main thing about my channel that I wanted was to be a safe haven for those who feel like they don't have anyone that can understand them. Like they don't have, they don't know who to trust or anything. Overall, I'm gonna say this: if you want to become part of the family, fine. I will make a Discord server. Let me know in the comments down below if I should make a Discord server, and y'all can help me with the names. And I might do a video where we're gonna pick out the names, or I'm gonna use a wheel. And whatever name is the last one standing will become that particular name. I know what it's like to feel like you don't have anyone there for you. In honesty, it sucks, and you create this world on your head where it's you and pretty much your voices, but your voices are like different people giving you like advice, but it's pretty much you're just giving yourself advice, and that's not a bad thing. Sorry y'all, I just ate like food a little bit ago, so I'm trying my best not to like burp or have hiccups. And I understand that it's like you live in your mind, and at the same time living in your mind or like talking to yourself, that other people think you're crazy. You're not. You're trying to keep yourself sane. And it sucks that the fact you have to keep yourself sane, because it's like, what else can make you not go insane? For me, I listen to music. Because music can understand you in a way that most people don't talk about. A lot of people don't talk about certain things, but music can. It doesn't matter if it's in English or it's in like Spanish or Japanese, or Korean. It doesn't matter what language. If you're able to understand the vibe, the emotion of that particular song, then it's a song to keep. I listen to songs sometimes for the beat, but the beat can also tell the story, even if it's in a different language. It's a story that is just being told, and a lot of people don't understand that. I've been listening to music since I was a kid, like Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna. You got Lady Gaga, you got Beyonce, you got all these people, and I listen to, and of course, when it comes to listening to music, for me, when I listen to Michael Jackson, I feel like he's still alive, because I'm constantly listening to his music. His music makes me feel alive, and I make his music feel alive. And it's just one of those things. And it goes with Prince. It's not just it's not just artists. It's actors and actresses as well. Like, if I watch Fast and the Furious, I remembered when my mom kept on watching Fast and the Furious, like for like as a nighttime movie. Um, Peacock had almost all of them, but and if I remember correctly, Seven was one of the ones that I would not have like watched towards the end because I didn't want to like remember that Paul Walker was actually gone because it's like the most upsetting thing, and I'm having tears form in my eyes while I'm talking. Um, because it's like he was such a good person, and my mom, she loves watching Shark Week, and Paul Walker was on one of the Shark Week episodes, and it's so upsetting to watch Fast and the Furious because even though like they should have stopped with Seven, to me that would have made it feel like he was forever gone. And I'm like glad that they keep on doing it because it makes the spirit alive, and it's like legends never die, and that's what they're talking about. It's like, oh, even though they're gone in physical form, their spirit will forever live on. Same thing goes with their fame. And Paul Walker will forever be the prettiest blonde, and there's no doubt about it. And same thing goes with Michael. A lot of people, they painted him as the bad guy, and I'm thinking to myself, you guys are just mad at the fact because of his fame and all that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, you guys didn't take the time or to take the time to understand him and why he does these things, because growing up to him, he didn't have a childhood. And it's like he like when he created Never Neverland, it's like he did that so he wouldn't become a child. And I understand that. And the reason why I understand that is because there were times where when I had to take care of my mom, I didn't feel like a child. Right now, I feel like, oh yeah, I'm 21 and all that stuff. That doesn't mean anything. Because I feel like I didn't have a childhood either because I had to grow up so fast. And for Michael, for him, it was because of music. Of course, yeah, we're gonna thank his father for like music and all that stuff, but after hearing like the things that happened to him when he was younger, it makes you so sick in the stomach. And my mom, we were talking about this at one point. My mom said if she had the money and found the people who worked in Never Neverland, she would have found them, paid them enough money to keep that place going. And this is when my mom was still alive and we were talking about stuff. So it was just so crazy. And one of the things that got me the most is because I branched off because my favorite era when it comes to music is the 80s. Y'all cannot change my mind. I'm sorry. I don't get me wrong. I like music in other eras, like other decades and all that stuff, but for me it's the 80s. I like the 80s. I think it's just because of the vibe of the songs and all that stuff. I remember branching off and BTS, their song Dynamite, even though all of it was in English, I was so shocked to find out that they were Korean, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is all in English. How is this even what? I was so shocked and so confused. But that song, it was the reason why I went into K-pop. It was not Gangnam Style. It was not that. I didn't even know what K-pop was. And I remember hearing about BTS because of my friend. She kept on showing me like stuff about BTS and all that stuff. And at that time, I really didn't care. I was like, okay, cool, whatever. They're people. I really didn't care. But like after listening to their music and realize how good their music was, I'm like, oh my wow. But watching Dynamite and I saw some of the moves that Michael would have done, and I'm like, wow, they really like put like Michael's I would say personality into it. And it was just so crazy. And I ended up just like I really like them. They were like really amazing. And and of course I also went to different other like groups and all that stuff. My favorite group right now is ATEEZ and Stray Kids. And the reason why is because I like their music and I like their style. And y'all are never ever gonna make me change my mind about that. But out of ATs and Stray Kids, the group I have trying to figure out how to word this. Out of the two groups, there's only one group that I can understand their storyline fully, and that is ATs. And I'm not saying I'm not what is the word I'm looking for? I need a sentence in my head. It's not because of their music and all that stuff. No. It's because of their storyline. And the reading their storyline and me making connections is the most terrifying thing ever for me. Because I'm only one person. That's a group of 8. It's to understand their story as one person and make connections to all 8 people. It's absolutely crazy and insane. Ooh, another portal. Because it's like the one member that I feel like I can understand the most is Mingy, especially in the storyline when he just listens to music and blacks out the world. I did that once. I remember listening to music just to block out the world because I was so tired of dealing with so much stuff and I wanted to escape it. I understood that. And the captain of ATs, like Hongjung, um I remember, reading about how looking on TV and want to become a star. I remember feeling like that before, where I just wanted to become a star. And each member I can relate to. And it's just like, I can't really relate to Jungho. Jungho, sorry if I butcher his name. Because, talking about like being an athlete and all stuff, that I cannot relate to. But one thing I can relate to is not being able to do something because something has stopped you from doing it. That I can understand. I wanted to become a YouTuber so badly. But my mom, I had to take care of her. And I had to stop. I had to put everything else above her. I had to put my mental state on the bottom of the level, so I had to take care of her. There were so many things that I had to stop taking care of myself just to take care of her. And when COVID hit, it made it so much worse for me because that means I was constantly with my mom. And that put a real damper to like it put a real damper to my mental health and because of my anxiety to a point where I developed this thing where if I become overwhelmed or I have way too many overwhelmed where a lot of emotions just start surging through me, I will start twitching. Like if I had if I had a tick or Tourette's. And I understand now what it's like to have a particular part of having like a Tourette syndrome or having tics. They are painful. They hurt because they come out of nowhere and you don't expect them. But for me, I can feel my body tense up, and if I try to stop it, I can't stop it because it will hurt even more if I did. Um, I know it's weird. I'm talking about this while I'm playing Minecraft, and a lot of people would be like, "It's just a voiceover." And in all honesty, it's not a voiceover. This is actually me recording at this particular time while I'm playing Minecraft. Because Minecraft is the only thing that can keep me, I don't know, sane and straight. Because I don't know what I'm looking for in Minecraft. There's cherry blossoms, cool. But I feel so much better now just by talking. Because I'm getting this off my chest. And the one thing, the people that I look up to, you have, for me, it's Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. I mean, you also have PewDiePie. I'm trying to remember all the other people. Please forgive me. You have Corey. I'm trying to think of people who have taken breaks from YouTube. I don't think, did PewDiePie ever take a break from YouTube? I really don't remember. What am I seeing again? Don't tell me is that another village? No, that can't be another village. Bruh, that is another village. How is that another village? I'm so confused. I came from. I need to find a way to get over there. Geronimo, especially in the water. I know I feel like I'm getting distracted, but overall, I feel like I'm a kid again. Because, like, I'm having fun, I'm playing Minecraft, and I love playing Minecraft. Don't get me wrong, if I wanted to play Minecraft, I would hit with myself with some nostalgia. Especially, like, the Xbox 360 of Minecraft. Like, come on. Like, that Minecraft was so much fun. And Minecraft's still fun today. I remember at one point, I didn't even like Fortnite. I'm being so serious. I didn't like Fortnite because it gotten so big to a point it was just annoying. But I remember playing Fortnite again and I'm like, this is so much fun. Because it's Fortnite, and for me it's like Fortnite and like Call of Duty. Now don't get me wrong, Call of Duty is fun. But it's also a way for me to absolutely go bonkers and just use that many weapons. um and again, it's like, man, I don't know what else to talk about because I feel like I've gotten this stuff off my chest, and I feel so much better that I don't feel like I'm going insane. And if anybody can relate to me or understand like how I'm feeling, or like or I hit something with them, like I hit home or something like that with some things that they just, a lot of times people, they think of stuff that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to face it. You know, a lot of people, they don't want to face their demons. But at the same time, you have to face your demons because your demons are yourself. You are your demon because you you are pretty much just fighting against yourself the majority of the time. And I remember, I'm being so this serious when I say this. I remember that I had a dream once. I oh my god, I had a dream once. I sound like Martin Luther King Jr. Which is a good thing. I remember this dream, and I remember I was running away from something dark and black. I didn't understand what was going on. I just remember running away from it until I stopped. I turned around and I hugged it. I don't know why I ended up hugging it, but I felt like it needed a hug. And after hugging it, I didn't find out that because I was still dreaming. I found out that it was just me. I was running away from myself. And that was the most scariest thing ever. Because I'm thinking to myself, why am I running away from myself? I should be my own comfort zone. But yet I wasn't. I was my own monster in my head. And it was so crazy about it. Because it's like, and I remember waking up, and I'm just like, and I can still feel like the warmth of the hug. And I'm just like, what just happened? Like I was still in a haze, and I'm like, what just happened? I didn't know what was going on. So I was just like, oh, okay, well, there's that. And so it's hard to love yourself and accept yourself because so many people are like, because you don't know how people see you, and you don't know how you are when you're representing yourself to other people. And it's like one of the most scariest things ever, because you're just, you have this mentality of, what if they don't like me? What if I say something wrong? And you have that, which is completely understandable. But for me, my mentality is, if y'all don't like me, I really don't care. I don't need y'all's approval just to be myself. I don't need somebody else's, a go ahead just to be myself. I don't need that. I am who I am. And me talking about this, it's just like, it's one of those things. Okay, a lot of people don't want to talk about it. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. But at the same time, you have to hear the truth, even though it's gonna be painful. It's the truth. The truth will be the most painful arrow straight to your heart. And I'm saying that and being truthful. It hurts. Like a son of a gun. It hurts like hell. But you know what you can do? You can just pick up the pieces and you can just move on with your life. You can be okay. in your own way, and you just don't have to worry about anything anymore. And it's like, because I don't know, how long have I been recording? Hold on. I'm trying to see how long have I been recording. I've been recording for, you're kidding me, 35 minutes of me just blabbering my mouth. I feel like I'm ranting at this point, but you kind of have to rant in order to do that. For 35 minutes. And to be honest, once I feel like I have said everything I needed to say, I'm gonna post it up, and I'm just probably gonna put the title in and saying, "This is me. This is who I am. This is what I want to talk about," or something like that. Because I remember where Mark would, whenever, one of my favorite videos of all time that Markiplier has done was when he was talking to Matt Pat when they were doing the Power Wash Simulator like game together. And they've talked about so much real stuff, and it's like, think to myself, not a lot of people talk about this, and I always wondered, how in the world do they do this stuff? How in the world do they edit their videos and put it out on time? And it turns out they have editors. They pay people to do it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's cool. I mean, like, no hate or anything, no. I'm like, that's really cool, because they're pretty much are paying people to put their talent of editing out into the world with one of their videos. And that's a lot of trust, because you never know who's gonna make your video look good or bad. And when it comes to editing my videos, I mean, back then when I did like gotcha videos, I enjoyed editing because it was so much fun. Because I felt in control of what I was doing. And it was just, I want to continue doing videos to where I can actually feel like I mess up. I stream on Twitch, but it's mainly just me, just, you know, hang out with my friends, talking with my friends and all that stuff. This is this is something I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting to talk about some things, and I just feel like, and I wanted to get some stuff off my chest, and I feel like I've done the majority of it. And like I said before, I do not care if you don't like what I said, or you know, or you want to continue, or you just want to be a hater. Whatever, if you have an opinion, you can say it. I don't care. But that doesn't mean I'm not, a lot of people, they have opinions. And a lot of people say their opinions. And a lot of people be like, well, we didn't ask for your opinion. And I'm thinking to myself, a lot of times when you don't ask for an opinion, it's the time when you need an opinion without asking for one. And if people are able to give you an opinion, be grateful that you didn't have to ask for it, that people already gave it to you. And sometimes a lot of people, there's a lot of hate. And I really don't like when people just like, I hate when people say, oh, I hate this person. Hate is a really strong word, but I'm gonna say this. If you really dislike somebody, you can just say, I dislike this type of content that they're doing, but you can love all their videos. If you find some content that's really good within their videos, and you're like, okay, I like the content, I just don't like this particular content, then yeah, that's fine. I mean, they're not gonna change it to your liking if they're gonna do what they want to do. They're humans, I'm a human, you're a human, we're all humans, we all have feelings, we all have organs and stuff, except for most of those who don't, which is extremely upsetting. Not everyone has organs. But they're all not everybody is breathing, but we're still human. It doesn't matter what we've gone through. If we can go through hell and back. We can do that. We can go through hell and back, and we can still stand strong. Because that's what we can do. We can just stand strong and stand up for those who don't have voices. Stand up for those who are afraid to stand up for themselves. You can be their rock. Or their tree, if you're tall. Sorry, tall people, I have to make a joke about trees. And I'm in a forest, so y'all bear with me. Be there for someone. even when they don't ask it, just be there for someone. You can show up to one of your friends' house and be like, "Hey, you want to hang out today?" You know, or you can ask to come inside. You can pop up out of nowhere, like a Jack in the Box, and be like, "Hey, what you do today? I decided to come over." Or send them a message if you don't have a car, send them a message, call them, and just to make sure that they're okay. And if they're having a good day, and if they want to talk about it, that's fine. If they don't want to talk about it, you can literally just say, that's fine if you don't want to talk about it, but just remember that I'm here. And if you want to talk to somebody, talk to me. One of those things. Because someone needs somebody. And a lot of people don't have that somebody. You could be a complete stranger and ask somebody how their day went. Or you can do something nice for them. I remember at one point, I was taking the bus home, and the bus driver sighed, and I asked him if he was having a bad day. And he asked me how in the world did I knew that. And I said, oh, just because of the way he sighed. Because I saw he was just not having a good day, and I can just tell. And it sucks when you don't have a good day. Why am I singing in our village? A lot of people, they don't have good days. Because when you wake up and you think you're gonna have a bad day, you will have a bad day because of your mentality of thinking. So wake up tomorrow or whenever, if you're taking a nap now and you wake up saying you're gonna have a good day and you're gonna make somebody else's day a good day too. Because guess what? That's gonna happen. And it's just like, be somebody for whoever. Be that person. Be somebody who's gonna be there for that person and not gonna judge them. Because a lot of people are afraid of judgment. I'm afraid of judgment. Because of my mom. My mom would judge me, and I didn't like that. Because it's like, you're breaking me down. And I remember my mom, she was talking about how she did all this stuff in college, like how she became a PTK and this, that, and the other. And I'm thinking to myself, that was you. You did all that. No one asked you to, but you did it. So I can't do that. And there were times where I couldn't even clean the house, and it's not because I'm a bad kid. No. Don't even ever think that. No. It's not because I was a bad kid. It was because my mentality was so so low that I just didn't have the energy to do anything. I remember my mom called me lazy, and the thing is, I'm not lazy. I'm having a hard time to regulate what's going on in my head. Because I feel like I'm just losing my mind constantly over and over and over again. I don't want to feel like I'm losing my mind. And I got so much stuff in here. My stomach. And so, it was just so crazy. And I'm just like, so why can't you just be happy for me? That I'm here. And it's just like, ooh, iron. I've always wanted to go up to somebody and just hug them. And tell them that everything's okay. Even if they were having a good day. Because people can pretend they have a good day. When in reality, they want somebody to hug them and say that everything's gonna be okay. Even though it's not. But in your heart, everything's gonna be okay. But there are times where everything's not gonna be okay. And, I remember one time I woke up at one point and I remembered, I'm thinking to myself, today is probably gonna be one of the sucky days, but to be honest, I'll be alright. I'll be okay. Because I'm not gonna let everything bring me down. Nothing can break my stride. Nothing can slow me down. No. I don't know why I had that song playing in my head, but that was the perfect particular line I was thinking. That or Don't Stop Believing by The Journey. That's such a good song. And to be honest, if you want to listen to some songs, listen to NF. Listen to his music. Read his lyrics. Because his music is the most touching music ever. I still listen to him till this day because his music is so relatable. His song Hope, for me, instead of 30 years, for me, it felt like 3 years of this monstrosity. But at the same time, it felt like 30 years. I'm not even lying. It felt like 30 years, and it's just so crazy. The people that I admire the most is those who are still here and those who are gone. That like Michael Jackson, I admire him the most because of his music, because he spoke out, and a lot of people didn't really listen to his music because people just didn't understand. I'm thinking to myself, and a lot of people now they're realizing what he's saying. And I'm like, he's been saying this for I don't know how many years now, and y'all just now realizing it. Um, and then you have like Eminem. No hate on Eminem, because boy, a lot of people went after him. I'm thinking to myself, I'm thinking to myself, are y'all just wanting to start something? Want to be starting something or something like that? And it was just funny. I'm just like, okay, y'all do you. Eminem's still cool. Then it goes with Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Dr. Dre. They cool. I would love to meet them. Because in all honesty, all of them could be my uncles. I mean, we always call Snoop Uncle Snoop. Because that's what he feels like. He feels like an uncle. And Eminem, I can tell that he's, a daddy's girl because he protected Haley. And Haley, I've seen pictures of Haley, and she is the most beautiful person on this planet. I'm so glad that, I'm glad that Eminem is becoming a grandfather. Like, that's so amazing and so cool. And, I've seen some other videos of where Eminem was talking about the Grammys and all that stuff. I don't trust the Grammys. I'm sorry, but I feel like the Grammys are like rigged. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people can agree on this, that we all feel like the Grammys are rigged, and it's just because it's like they're not giving like artists and all that stuff. But there are times where, what was it, Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim, I can't think of her last name, starts with P, where they won, and people the fact that they won, and they're to themselves, they deserve it, you because that's a rarity. You don't see people win a Grammy Awards when they're part of the LGBTQ plus. You don't see that, not at all. Which is funny because I'm also a part of it. Why? Because I'm bisexual. I feel like I'm bipolar half the time, but I don't think I am bipolar. I'm just bisexual. You know, but at the same time, for me, it's like, oh yeah, I'm bisexual, but I always go by them, because there are times where I can be masculine, and there are times where I can be extremely girly. It's just depending on the book. But for me, I prefer being more masculine. I don't know. I feel more powerful than I do if I'm more masculine. And one, I am strong, just not strong enough. Physically, no. Mentally, yeah, I'm strong mentally, but physically, no. But like, it's just crazy of how this world is. And I feel like we're just going down in a spiral. And we're going to continue going down in a spiral until somebody's able to stop us and reverse everything. I want this world to be safe for everyone and for children. No wars, no nothing, no hate, no nothing. Just nothing. I want it to be okay. But at the same time, I know it's not going to be okay. There are still going to be some bad times. There are still going to be some bad moments, and that's okay. Why? Because in order to have a good day, you're gonna have some bad moments. That's a part of life. You're gonna have good moments, you're gonna have bad moments, and that's just being human. And a lot of people, and when people talk about real men don't cry, yes, they do. They do cry because they are human, and it's okay to cry. Because sometimes you can be strong for so long until you just break down crying because you've been holding in for so long and you're trying to stay strong and all that stuff. It's just one of those things, and it's like staying strong. It's not easy. It would never ever be easy because you're constantly you're putting on a mask. You're just like putting on this entire costume that wearing it for so long, you just get tired and you feel like you're suffocating. And it's just and sometimes you feel like you don't know where you want to go. And that's the fear. Speaking of fear, ended up releasing a song called like his EP like Fear, and I've listened to all of his songs, and I went to search up what each song had, what was the meaning behind it. Fear, like the main song, it's so relatable and so understandable, including the music video. Because, like, you can relate to, what is happening, and it's like, and with the song Hope, he's pretty much battling this dark side of him, and it's like, that's exactly what it feels like. You're battling yourself, you know. But for me, do I still have a few demons that don't agree with me? Yes, but overall, I've learned to live with them. If they learn, then they learn to live with me, you know. And why am I hearing an ambulance? Living on a highway sucks. I'm sorry if I'm changing topics right now, but like there's like so many things happening around my house. So, um, wow, it's been 50 minutes of me just talking, and at this point, I'm just playing Minecraft. It's like I'm not. Am I doing anything in Minecraft? Nah, not really. I'm just playing it because I just like playing Minecraft. And I'm just talking because I'm doing something with my hands. I have a controller right now in my hands right now because using mouse and keyboard is kind of right next to the mic, and I don't really like that so much. I'm gonna fall. Oh, that's a lich cave. Okay. So yeah, that's how I think, and that's how I think. And if I'm able to be the safe haven for those who wants one, then let me be it. Because my name, literally, a DJ. What does DJ do? They gather people together. Because, you got a club. You're gathering people together on the dance floor. Okay? So I'll be that DJ. And, hello, I'm with this Geo. And okay, I'm a siren. So let me be loud. To where I'm able to get people's attention. Let me be these things for these people. And let me tell them that just because, you can have a good day, you can have a bad day, you can have any kind of day. As long as you are yourself and that you know that you're going to be okay, that is when you will have a good day. That is when you will have the best day of your life. And there are moments where you can say this is the best day of your life. It could be any day. You can think about any day. And it's just like a lot of people don't get it, and a lot of people don't understand, and it's upsetting that a lot of people don't see signs. There are not all signs are so visible. Like having ADHD or having autism or having like anxiety or whatever or anything. There are no visible signs. Not all the time. There are some times where you have visible signs, but it's not all the time. You have to read somebody's body language to understand what they're going through. I can read a room just to make sure, so I know what's happening, what's going on, and so that I'm ready to intervene or just chill back. It is one of those things. And it's like, do people are gonna get it? Are people gonna see these signs? Not all the time, no. Unless they have gone through it themselves, that's when they will see the signs and understand what exactly is happening. As much as I want to continue keeping this video going, it's only like about to be like 54 minutes, and I'm trying my best not to make it into an hour, but at this point, I've said what needed to be said, and I feel like this is just a good start for my channel, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. I just want to be real. I just want to be honest, and I don't want to hide anything from y'all. And one thing I'm gonna say is, yes, I did have roommates at one point, but it did not end so well. Was because one, we were all living 3 different lifestyles. 2, they ended up destroying my house, my childhood home, and I still have bugs to deal with. But overall, I'm making it the best that I can. No, they no longer live with me. They kicked themselves out. I didn't kick them out. Um, but like, I know at some point I'm gonna be okay. And I know that at some point that I'm gonna have to take things slow. So if if I get great feedback on this video, I might do more videos. I might be myself. I might start talking about like stuff, whatever you guys wanted me to talk about. I'm probably gonna write it down so I can remember because I really have a bad memory. So yeah, if you guys ever want me to talk about other different topics and have my opinion about it, I might do my research to figure out what's going on, and then I might talk about it. But overall, I'm ending this video because of how long it is. So I'm gonna say this. This is DJ Siren X signing off.